Good morning, it's Thursday, May 7th, and today we're going to switch gears and start talking about a topic that's probably going to get me a little bit geeked out because it's something I'm very passionate about, and that is the concept of habits and how we can use habits to help make us make progress on the things that are important to us. And it's also going to feel a little bit different because I found myself at the intersection of two projects that I'm working on, but it felt very natural to bring them together for the purpose of this video. And the prompt from the Daily Stoic is, what is some good I can get from myself today? And when I hear that question, I'm immediately called to a line from Epictetus, which is, how long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself? Now, for me, the answer is simple: not long at all. I firmly believe that if you win the morning, you win the day. And that's why the early morning is such a special occasion to me. It's when I feel the most alive. It's uncompromised time when there are no other competing priorities for me. It's my opportunity to ground and center myself, my chance to create, to feel inspiration, to set direction for the rest of the day. It's when I know I have the ability to enter a state of flow, that moment when the concept of time slips away, and when I have the ability to access the deepest parts of my being. It's where the magic happens. Now, it just so happens that coincidentally, I had to write on that this morning on what that means for me, for another program that I'm working on, what that state of flow looks like. And I'm happy to share that with you today in hopes that maybe it helps you get to thinking about what finding flow means like for you personally. So here we go. It's early, really early. So early that if you would have told me I'd voluntarily insist on getting up this early 3 years ago, I would have thought you to be crazy. The alarm is always set just to make sure that I don't miss this prime piece of real estate on the schedule, but I don't usually need to rely on it. As my sleep cycles ebb and flow, my mind tells me when it's time to get started. Today it was a little bit earlier than usual. 3:30 arrived with a bathroom break, but I could feel my brain activity ramping up. I lay back down in hopes of just one more hour of sleep, but I knew it was futile at that point. The process had already started. The train had left the station, so I'd better just enjoy the ride. Back up out of bed to start the ritualistic process that unfolds the same nearly every single day. Brush the teeth, get on the scale, change into my workout clothes. Not everything though, just my compression boxers, a pair of Nike shorts, a t-shirt, and a hat that says, mind over matter. This is my uniform every single morning. Quietly, I slip downstairs with my socks and headphones in hand, careful not to wake up my family, but they don't want to be awake right now. Nearly no one does, except for me. This is my time. In the kitchen, I start replenishing my body with the lost water and electrolytes from the night before. I mix 5 grams of creatine into the cocktail and I swallow some vitamin D. Next, it's the same pre-workout meal every single day. 1.5 ounces of bananas, 1.5 ounces of roasted sweet potatoes. Now that the body's been primed, I lay out my tools on the kitchen table. On it, I place my habit tracker, my journal, and my pen. I then get out the Daily Stoic 366 Meditations book, along with the associated prompt guide. I usually also pull a binder filled with notes from Marcus Aurelius and Seneca's teachings. I know I'm probably going to use it soon enough. I sit down and I read today's entry from the Daily Stoic and I let it sink in. I open the prompt to today's question and I read it carefully. Most of the time, I don't have an immediate answer, and that's okay. I've learned not to panic. I know what to do. So I'm content to just think for a few minutes as I feel the gears lubricate and I stare at the blank journal page. By now, I finished my pre-breakfast meal and I take my nootropic supplement. If the inspiration hasn't come to me yet, I'll begin reading through the aforementioned philosopher's notes that I pulled, trying to find another angle that speaks to me. It's usually waiting there in those pages of ancient wisdom. I'll know it when I see it. But other days it's more elusive. For those times, I have a plan. You see, I've intentionally left the sink filled with the dishes that I washed the night before. When writer's block rears its stubborn head, I step away from the table and I devote my attention to putting away the cleaned and dried dishes in their proper places. This simple act of disconnecting briefly from the task has proven to be a dependable resort to, if necessary, break. My mind, freed from the pressure of finding the thread, subconsciously latches onto it. Once again, I know immediately when I find it. So back to the table to pick up my pen and put it to paper. I check the time. I still have 90 minutes before I need to start my workout. Surely that will be enough time. No, 90 minutes will have to be enough time. I know that I could spend hours at this table now that I found the thread, but this magic moment will expire. The rest of the day and its demands will come barreling through, and I won't have a chance at experiencing this stillness and mental clarity again. At least not for another 24 hours, when I get to begin the cycle in the pursuit of this moment of flow once again. So I hope you go out there, find your moment of flow, and help you have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.